Tournament of Power rolled around, and Kakarot got to go all out, showing off his brand new skills, not just in terms of what his techniques are, but his power too. He definitely seems to be one of the strongest mortals, but he still has challenges ahead. We'll cover that and more in this 10th part of What If the Red Ribbon Army raised Goku. The new and improved Android 13 is pretty much complete. Immediately after the Tournament of Power, he's unleashed. Hedo did build the Gammas too, but they're not going to be used here. It doesn't seem like Android 13 has any issues. All in all, he seems to be the perfect weapon, and on top of that, he's obedient. 13's supercomputer has studied everyone on Earth. A new one was built, this time by Hedo, so it's picked up on a bunch of new skills, and its main goal is to hunt Kakarot. Now, Red Pharmaceuticals isn't stupid. They know that Tao is an ally to Kakarot, and they're not too sure on General Blue's affiliation, but they know he's affiliated with Tao. But they've grown a lot of trust with Tao. He never betrayed them, and at the end of the day, he's there for a paycheck. Plus, he gives his word that he's not going to interfere with this. But it makes Hedo kind of confused. He knows Tao isn't really aligned with the Red Ribbon Army, and that he's Kakarot's teacher, so why is he allowing this? It seems like he actually does have respect for Kakarot and has some sort of allegiance with him. And that is true. But Tao knows that Hedo doesn't necessarily like 13 either, and the two of them both just worked for this company because they wanted the money from it. Hedo should understand better than anyone, and Tao didn't really have to do much anyways. He was basically security for them. He got paid for just sitting around. And he doesn't think this is an issue. This is a test for Kakarot, if anything. Really? He let them get away with making a killing machine just so he could test his student? Yeah, exactly. Kakarot will always be his student, but he considers this the ultimate test. If Kakarot can't survive this encounter, well, he's not fit to be an assassin like Tao. Sure, Tao probably can't survive this either, but Kakarot has raw power on his side. With a combination of that and his skills, he should be able to overcome this. But if not, then he's just brute strength. There's nothing much more to it. But he's confident in his student. He knows he can overcome this. And besides, Hedo should be happy about this too. Tao thinks that 13's defeat is very likely, and if that's the case, well, he got his funding to build the Gammas, and then Red Pharmaceuticals will just be taken over by General Blue. It's kind of a long game, so in a way, Hedo's going to benefit from it too. Well, he wishes Tao told him that earlier because then he would have built some weak spot to Android 13 or something. He's not fully obedient to Hedo, mainly Magenta. But whatever, if he's confident in Android 13, then so be it. That's a really weird way to go about teaching a student. Android 13 wastes no time. He goes immediately for the first power he could find, and that is Krillin. He has data on Krillin, a bunch actually. He finds the two of them training out in a wasteland. How fitting. The current Guardian of Earth and the former Guardian of Earth are right here. Krillin's really confused. Isn't this the android that they fought before? First of all, how is the Red Ribbon Army still active? And second, why is it an exact copy of Android 13? Piccolo says it shouldn't be a problem. He wouldn't mind getting to fight this android, especially with their new power-ups. Krillin powers up in the ultimate, and so does Piccolo. He also went to Elder Kai and got his potential unlocked. He's been training rigorously. Kakarot is his end goal, but for now, it's more like Krillin. The two of them have become pretty close rivals, and both have grown a ton. Android 13 scans them. The data goes right to the supercomputer, so it looks like these two are stronger than expected. Of course, they have a bunch of data on them, but it's not necessarily too up to date. It's about 1 to 2 years outdated. But it shouldn't matter. 13 is definitely strong enough to take them on. 13 does kind of underestimate them at first, though, because as the battle begins, it's apparent that these two have grown a ton, especially Piccolo now having ultimate. The battle seems pretty quick. Krillin throws a Kienzan, cutting Android 13 in half. Now there's two Android 6.5s. Piccolo launches up in the air, charges a Ki Blast in both hands, and then throws it down. One half of 13 avoids it, but the other half gets incinerated. That was some good coordination. It didn't seem too hard. The remaining half of Android 13 does have his head. He floats up, and then regenerates his lower half. With clothes too. Thankfully he's not naked. Alright, that's new. He is impressed with their power. He might actually have to bring out some more of his strength. You see, he's a better version of Android 13. They shouldn't even really call him Android 13 because that's kind of underselling what he's capable of. When it comes to looks, yeah, he's the exact same. But he's definitely not the same android. He's better. He's smarter. He's stronger. He has more abilities. He's perfect. He's the most perfect android ever made. He powers up and goes into his Super 13 form. But that's not what he calls this. He proclaims himself as Perfect Android 13, and after transforming, he then one-shots Krillin and Piccolo. He was hoping to defeat them without using his full power, but it's not like it's an issue. He has infinite energy as well. They pulled out all the stops here. Besides the raw strength improvement and more techniques, he could regenerate, he has infinite energy, and he could even absorb Ki Blast. Not that it's going to make him stronger, but it essentially means Ki Blasts are useless against him. He allowed Piccolo and Krillin to hurt him, just to show them what he's capable of. He's about to finish them off, launching a blast at each of them. But just as the blast launch, Krillin and Piccolo disappear. And it's not like they teleported either, it's like they were there one instant, and they were just gone the next. 13 sensors go off. Kakarot's nearby. And it's not just him, the other 3 Saiyans are there too. Raditz and Nappa are a bit concerned after what happened last time, but they are a lot stronger. Though the fact that Krillin and Piccolo got defeated That shows he's clearly not the same 13. Plus, Krillin tries to explain what happened, but Kakarot just places a hand on his head, reads his memories, and he gets caught up to speed. Weird, Krillin's never seen him do that, but he has a sense of deja vu. Raditz, Nappa, and Vegeta jump in first to fight him. Vegeta hasn't encountered him before, and he's a little cocky. Raditz and Nappa tell him to be careful though. They know it's not the same Android 13, but that's kind of a bad thing too. The three of them all show off their full power in Super Saiyan Blue Evolution, and they feel much better than Krillin and Piccolo, but they still end up losing. It still is at least a good fight. 13 adapts to this too. All the data goes right to the supercomputer, and he grows from it further. But now, Kakarot steps up. He watched the Saiyans fight and didn't interfere to let them have their fun. If they defeated 13, great. That wasn't his problem. But if not, well, that means he's the only one who could do it. And somebody else is nearby too. Showing up completely unnoticed, no one could even sense his key. It's Tao. And he asks Kakarot if he's ready here. Does he know what he needs to do? And Kakarot thinks he has some ideas. Though he does ask Tao why he's here. Well, Tao's completely transparent. He knew about this project the entire time. What? Yep, this is a nice test for Kakarot. Well, Kakarot thinks it is a little stupid to do that, but as Saiyan side tells him, this is kind of a fun thing, so he thanks Tao for that. It's nice to have a good teacher that looks out for him. Krillin and Piccolo hear this and think they're both insane, but at least Kakarot's having a good time. The good thing is Kakarot has some tricks up his sleeve that 13 doesn't. Now, unlike Cell, 13 isn't made of the DNA of the other fighters, he's just made based off the data from them. So anything he hasn't seen isn't something he could use. When he sees stuff, he can try and adapt to it, but it's not going to be instantaneous and it won't be a perfect replication of it. Given time though, he will fully adapt. Think of this Android 13 like a Maharaga type character. Kakarot's hair starts flowing. He immediately jumps into Ultra Instinct only. Since it hasn't really been long after the Tournament of Power, he can't use the completed version of it just yet, but he does know how to access Ultra Instinct at will, even if it is just Omen, and he has grown a lot stronger even in this short period of time. Just getting Ultra Instinct alone really boosted him. And even though they didn't really use it much in the Tournament of Power, it's the same thing with the Saiyans. That tournament acted as a catalyst for them to improve their Super Saiyan Blue, and of course they're now using Evolution, just like as a catalyst for Kakarot getting Ultra Instinct Omen. 13 attacks Kakarot. He dodges. 13 tries to adapt and counter this, but then Kakarot counters that. They just keep countering each other. It's like a game of ping pong. Kakarot counters 13, 13 counters that, Kakarot counters that, and so on. And it is kind of fun for Kakarot to test out Ultra Instinct like this, though he doesn't really feel a sense of fun right now. His emotions are completely gone. He's fully neutral. He's calmed his heart and his mind. He would love to make his emotions work for him, but right now, in Ultra Instinct, he's completely emotionless and mindless. But 13 starts getting faster and faster. No problem for Kakarot. Speed doesn't matter to him. Kakarot then lands an attack on 13. 13 couldn't even process what just happened, because Kakarot's controlling time. Combining his time powers with Ultra Instinct, Kakarot feels like he's unstoppable. His body acts on its own, and with his body acting on instinct, his time powers are part of that too. And his time powers can be used offensively and defensively. He's improved his time control to the point where he could delay other people's moves, or attack before they could even perceive it. 13 is of course powered by an even better supercomputer, processing all this new data in real time. And it's trying to calculate every possible outcome, trying to figure out what Kakarot's doing here. And I feel like at some point it would be able to, it's a supercomputer. And with how crazy tech is in Dragon Ball, a supercomputer in the series must be insane. But when it doesn't even know what's going on right now and Kakarot's not even using his full potential, it is a little bit tough for it to adapt for 13. Kakarot's body starts working overtime. He's improved Hit's own techniques, making them his own, incorporating it into his own style. And Tao watches on very impressed, studying under an assassin from another universe. He wished he thought of that. Though Tao prides himself as the best one here, even better than Kakarot. Sure, Kakarot has more power, but Tao still views himself as more skilled. Though everyone there knows that Kakarot has surpassed him in that regard too. But it's not like Tao can't teach him still. 13 keeps rapidly improving, but so does Kakarot. And suddenly, the fight gets too fast and complex for people to keep up with. With 13 instantly connected to the supercomputer, relaying and receiving data, he can comprehend this, and Kakarot's whole thing is Ultra Instinct plus the time control, but no one else could really tell what's going on here. Though, Kakarot's skill overpowers the supercomputer. 13 attacks at full power, but it's parried in an instant. Kakarot saw ahead and automatically moved. He knew what 13 was going to do before 13 even knew what he was going to do. He's outsmarting a literal supercomputer. 13's computer tries to compensate for this, and it feels like Kakarot's attacking in the past, so logically it jumps at the conclusion that it is what he's doing here. It tries to work on a way for 13 to counter this, but it can't do it in time. Even with this computer, Kakarot's skill is too refined for it to counter. Kakarot's hair then flashes into a silver color as he traps 13 in a time cage, delaying any movement he makes, and more importantly, cutting him off from the supercomputer. Essentially, this disables 13 right away. Kakarot didn't even think that would work. Not only is 13 trapped in time, but any data that he's transmitting is also trapped. And that makes it pretty easy to eliminate him with one final attack, erasing every bit of him, ensuring he doesn't regenerate either. Magenta's back at the headquarters and starts to panic, But then he runs into someone there, General Blue. Suddenly, Magenta can't move. Blue paralyzes him and quickly kills him too. This is his company now. Honestly, he could have done this a long time ago, but he just wanted to see what the company was capable of, and now they have a ton of resources that are all at his disposal. Plus, Dr. Hedo and his androids. And with the Gammas on his side, they're uncontested. Now, Blue isn't a good guy, but he doesn't really care about world domination anymore. He just cares about getting filthy rich, and by being the CEO of this company, he is. He usurps the power pretty easily, and he lets Hedo stay there too, making a deal with him. The company changes over to Blue Pharmaceuticals. He's mega rich. It worked, and he gives Tao some nice pay and some nice benefits, being head of security there, and now he's employed for life without even having to do anything. Plus, the Gammas are on his side too. The Gammas and Hedo are a bit concerned about Kakarot, and also Tao and Blue, but they seem to not be a threat to Hedo at least. Plus, under Blue, he's going to give Hedo as much funding as he needs to build the androids because he thinks it's kind of fun to do. Now, he doesn't want a whole army of androids, but Hedo's research could make them some more money. They'll have breakthroughs in robotics. Hedo will become world famous too. Anyways, back to the fighters. Kakarot is back on Beerus' planet, working with Ultra Instinct instead of pursuing power with Super Saiyan 4 or Super Saiyan Blue. As a martial artist who is completely neutral, cold, and calculating as an assassin, Ultra Instinct is perfect for him. But it's not just that that's perfect for him. Beerus thinks he's an ideal god of destruction candidate too. It's not just his personality either, it's the fact that he is pretty much the strongest mortal out there. Of course, there's probably other threats down the line, but as of now, Kakarot is the top dog, and Beerus wanted him to be his rival anyways. So he offers Kakarot the position, and Kakarot accepts without much thought. It's the highest honor a warrior could get. Beerus had mentioned it before, and he had considered it, thinking that it could be a good fit for him too. But Kakarot says it's under one condition. He needs to keep training under Whis, and he wants to fight Beerus one day. Don't make him a god of destruction until he finally beats Beerus. And Beerus is fine with that. It seems like he's got this down, and it seems like he made the right choice too. Kakarot's new training begins, and he's now Universe 7's official god of destruction candidate. Beerus is elated beyond belief. But what else is out there in the universe? Well, Moro escapes prison. He tries to go to Namek, but he knows there is a strong warrior there, that being Tapion. He actually knows a little bit about Hirudegarn in the past, learning that another magician Hoi was responsible for it, and he also got defeated recently, alongside Goma. Moro needs more power before getting the Dragon Balls, and he senses a somewhat large power out in space. He needs just enough to grow, but not too much where he's going to lose a battle right away. So he needs an opponent that has a little bit of strength, but not too much. And whoever this energy is seems perfect. So Moro heads to this planet first. It should be easy pickings. When he arrives, he sees a planet that's been recently pillaged. There's nothing left. Someone floats above Moro, and Moro quickly turns around, sticking a hand out and absorbing the energy from this person. But the fighter vanishes out of sight. Too quick for Moro to keep track of, and then Moro feels his energy dramatically increase. He gets a closer look. A Saiyan? He absorbs some power and grows a lot from it, but the Saiyan powers up even further. Moro is terrified. This is no normal Saiyan. He knows what this is. He's heard a legend about this. The legendary Super Saiyan. And when Moro gets a good look at this guy's face, he realizes he's screwed. This Saiyan. It's not Super Broly, it's Z Broly. Desperately, Moro tries to absorb more power, but Broly simply overloads him with all this power. It's too late for him. The power intake quickly makes him explode. He can't handle all of that strength at once. But Broly can, and he laughs. Now, where should he go next? With that, we'll leave off here for now. What'd you guys think about this part? What's going to happen next? Leave your thoughts and ideas in the comments below. I'd love to see what you guys think. As usual, be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really does help out the channel, and it shows me you want to see more videos like this. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.